Boruto is so powerful in the time skip that Sasuke stated he is now the strongest shinobi of all time and would never be defeated if he continued training. However, with such a huge testament to his strength, could Boruto defeat the old gods of shinobi all at the same time? That's impossible. Now I know this is a big claim. Who wants to admit that a freaking 16-year-old child can wipe the floor with everyone? But hey, I'm going to prove it. Firstly, Boruto isn't even human anymore. By old heads, there's a new guy in town. Boruto is 100% of Sasuke. They're on a completely different level from any race we've ever seen in the Naruto universe. Well, maybe except for Trishiki. He got packed up pretty quick. First of all, let's clear up the facts. From birth, Boruto was always going to become the strongest shinobi. This kid's blood is genetically insane. Naruto and Hinata's lineage linked back to both branches of the Otsutsuki clan, which is why Momoshiki claimed he inherited a strong amount of their genes. To make things crazier, Urashiki confirmed Tonori did something to Boruto to activate his new dojutsu that derives from the Otsutsuki god. So compared to other shinobi, Boruto has better opportunities with access to teachers such as Kakashi, Jiraiya, Naruto, Sasuke, and most recently, Kashin Koji. The amount of knowledge passed down is immense, which goes back to Kakashi's statement that the next generation will always surpass the loss. A great example would be the Russell gun itself. Despite Minato creating it, over time it became easier to learn, more refined, and then evolved to more powerful forms. Instantly proved this. At 12 years old, the invisible Rasengan was something none of them were able to achieve due to infusing lightning release, hence the whole reason Kakashi created the Chidori instead. As a result, the old heads admit one by one that Boruto is a jonin at such a young age. However, fast forward to the timescape and it's confirmed he surpasses the likes of our legends. Breaking down his taijutsu first, he now uses a sword as his main weapon, which he mastered under the tutelage of Cersei, claiming his student now knows everything he can teach. But before this occurs, Boruto already knew the gentle fists, which he had mastered when he was a child without the necessary Byakugan. To understand just how great Boruto's taijutsu has become, we must look at Momoshiki's fight against the Kargate. Why? You may ask. While Boruto with the Karma has gained all the thousands and thousands of years of his experience, which means he can do shit like this. Momoshiki even dominated Naruto before using Kurama and almost kept up with the duo. However, he also attacked something Boruto is already familiar with, dead and catsuit. What the fuck does that even mean? Well, basically you probably forgot, and don't worry, I'm about to go. Every person has 306,110 ketsu in total, and they act as checkpoints for the chakra pathway system. By completely mastering the Hyuga fighting style, one can attack all points and shut down an opponent's chakra. This can even be incredibly lethal. Attacking the point linked to the heart, or just hitting every single tenkatsu where chakra flowing in a person's body will stop, and guess what? They will die. Just think about it for a second. If Momoshiki keeps up with Naruto and Sasuke, who outlasted the strongest taijutsu in my guy's 8 gates, then battling Boruto in taijutsu is a definition if you make 1-1 move, and seeing how just one punch from Sonata broke through a Susanoo of Madara. I think it's safe to say Porter would be able to bypass the so-called perfect defense as well, especially when you consider the fact that Jigen took Sasuke by surprise, effortlessly kicking him straight out the pilot's seat. As you soon realize, if Jigen can do this, the perfect Susanoo is literally child's play for Boruto. In the time skip, Boruto dealt with multiple claw grinds in a single cut, whilst most people like Kawaki struggled and against Limitless Code. He just, strolled up to the guy, overpowered him, and the same clown said that he could defeat an adult Naruto and Sasuke 1v1. And to be fair, he actually did by making Sasuke a tree. But let's not forget Mitsuki's perfect Sage Mode, defeating him without getting serious or activating Karma that boosts everything. Mitsuki claims Kawaii at this point couldn't defeat Boruto and then could have sliced his former teammate like butter with his speed anti-jutsu alone. So the fact that Bolton now surpasses Naruto and Sasuke in this category, it's fair to say that just like he killed all programs at once, we would do this to all the cost. However, that's not all in the timescape. We know Gordo has become planetary or even higher, so does that mean he can defeat Baryon mode, Naruto, or even Ishiki at this point? Well, let's break down his dojutsu next. In Naruto, the peak of such an ability was the reading gun, and of course, who was better with it than Boruto's master Sasuke? Using it, he is able to enter other dimensions and was even able to put all 9 tail beasts in a genjutsu without eye contact and even make small planets out of them. Kurama stated that he's matching Hagoromo. Was also extremely efficient with the running gun, being able to use the 6 paths of pain abilities from demonic statue chains to Tengai Shins, which literally summons a meteor. However, as cool and shocking as these feats are, they are nothing compared to the dojutsu we see in Boruto. Kijimoto saw this super OP power and said, let's give it to everyone. I mean bro, literally all of the Shinju have one. My guy was giving running guns out like candy every. Otsutsuki has one, or something even stronger. Take Ishiki and Kawaki's Daikoku-ten for example, which can shrink down objects and resize them in an instant so fast even Cersei can't keep up with his internal manga kill Sharingan, or even a dis-freaking cindering gun which was literally used by Shirbai Otsutsuki to create the world as we know it. But just like other Otsutsuki, Border has access to a powerful dojutsu. This of course being his pure eye. Tenori accelerated the process of Boruto activating his eye and sent him a message. Staying your eye is the star of hope. The power of hope slumbers deep within you against destruction that will eventually come to pass. The Jagun grants forward to the ability of all 3 big dojutsu. For example, he can see the entire chakra, pathway system, its flow, and even Tenketsu, much like the Byakugan. Moreover, Boruto used it to see through invisible barriers, much like when Pain used his running gun to look for the barriers surrounding Kanohara in Chapter 419 of Naruto. However, he took it to the next level as Boruto could see through entirely different dimensions, as he saw where Urashiki was appearing before his portal activated. This is important to note for the ninja war as it would allow him to even see Murderer's limbo clones by pairing into the limbo world just like Sasuke's running gun. Furthermore, Urashiki's portajutsu was the same as Karga's, which had Naruto and Sasuke totally bamboozled. Nonetheless, it proved to be no issue for a 12-year-old portal. Thus in the timescape, he would have no trouble facing off against Cargill alone. Boruto can also use his pure eye in a similar way to the Sharingan as he was able to read Momoshiki muscle movements to determine his attack, allowing him to easily dodge and counter. Think about how insane that is, mate. A genie used taijutsu to deflect his attire. It's no surprise that Urashiki labeled this no jutsu a troublesome eye. He even unlocked Naruto's skill to see and sense emotions with it, but took it to the next level as even at 8 years old, whilst the pure eye was still in a primitive stage, Boruto could use it to see the weak point of an opponent against new IT. You'll probably think he's surely ABD, there's a limit to this abilities, right? This guy's busting well even after all the. Brutus still has access to Momoshiki's unique Byakugan, as he was able to temporarily control the Otsutsuki possession, allowing him to utilize its abilities. This dojutsu is beyond broken. I'm telling you, it allows you to see into the future, though it belongs to Momoshiki, who can see the fate of anyone but himself. Boruto is able to see what Momoshiki sees, and in turn, his own future. This foresight is probably one of, if not the most, OP power we have in the entire series for surpassing the Shoringan's ability to see the flow of an opponent's movements before they do them, as seen when Madara used it on Sasuke. Naruto also had a similar ability with the 6 paths powers, being able to detect Mother's light-speed chakra rods, but that's only seeing a couple of seconds into the future. Boruto is looking days, months, possibly even years into the future. We see this when Boruto foresaw Code losing control of the 10 Tails in the Shinju destruction of the world. But this also helps him in battle as he can maneuver around surprise attacks by pairing into Momoshiki's fragments. He achieved this against Mitsuki in Chapter 80. So if all the legends of yesterday faced him at the same time, they would still have no chance against him. The fact that his grandfather Minato could take out 1,000 shinobi in a single day only thanks to the flying raging, do we really think Proto couldn't achieve the same thing with the same jutsu and much more power at his disposal? We haven't even reached a pinnacle of it yet, as Boruto has ninjutsu that surpasses even Bahrain mode or Ishiki. He upgraded the Resent Band into Asian jutsu, similar to the Otsutsuki god who can create storms and Fondo with just a roar or no hand signs. Boruto can use the rotation of the entire earth to discombobulate any opponent. When have you even ever heard that word from someone when describing how powerful they are? You know what I'm saying? So compared to the days when Bolter said his dad's Rasengan is huge against Momoshiki, and we even saw that shit where its chakra left the earth and the time skip. The mad lad is arguably using something 100,000 times bigger. This isn't even accounting for his other variants, which he cooked up the Green Wind-style Rasengan, the Vanishing Resin Gun, which was key to defeating Fuse Momoshiki and could even take out Sasuke or blow off at Suzuki-level threats like Burrow's arm. The Resenden is a bullet that could pretty much snipe anyone. The high compression with sand gun which broke through deepest perfect defense made of diamond. It could even hold off Vegeta's cube at 12 years old whilst he was protecting Sasuke for a while. But what if I told you it just gets better? The Uzaga resin gun, also known as the power that may code the biggest clown in the series, this technique gathers chakra around the entire body using the Earth's rotation. Once someone comes into physical contact with him, Boruto is able to infuse his enemy with rotating chakra, essentially striking them with that rotation. The damage is permanent unless Porter wills it to stop, or you know everyone's dead and have stops finish now. With each additional blow from this resin gun, it causes Border's enemy even more physical harm and additional unbalance as they lose equilibrium. This left Kote, the guy who was stated to be stronger than Jigen, completely and utterly defeat Shi. It wasn't even a fight. Kote couldn't get a single freaking hit in. Let me remind you, Jigen was able to defeat Naruto and Sasuke. Their prime, which means this single technique surpasses anything we've seen. Border claims that this jutsu is certain death and makes him immune to physical contact whilst it's active. As anyone that tries to attack him, he will be met with the effects of Yuzuko in return. Now you may think Ishiki and Borean mode would be too far for, but that may not be the case. He is multiple times faster than light already. Kode's built markings are stated to be superior to Minato's flying Raijin and his instant teleportation. Yet Gordo is still able to react to them in time and counter. Given the fact that Naruto and Sasuke were already faster than light by the end of the Fourth War and had only gotten stronger, we get a sense of how far Boruto's scaling goes. For example, KCM version 1 of Naruto could already dodge a near light speed attack from A at point-blank range. He gets even faster later on in the Naruto manga due to Sage Mode's 6 paths in KCM 2. This leads to another feat of 6 puffs, Naruto dodging murderers like Fang, which was the speed of light. Later on in the Boruto manga, this level of speed is showcasing yet again with Delta. Light beams being dodged, or even enough Naruto dodging light speed photons in the Red Pseudo novels. As a result, since in the timescape Boruto is stronger than Limitless Code, we can comfortably conclude he is way faster than the speed of light and therefore would be able to keep up with Body and Mode and Ishiki. This is in base with no effort destroying such a powerful opponent, because I'm about to explain how he's an entirely different monster upon using his other. Shinjutsu Almada review that all ninja suits are nothing but a mere attempt at copying a fraction of a Shinjuku's power, like Shirbai and Momoshiki has bestowed those kind of powers to Bordo for him to use with the Kami's true essence. For example, another unique ability is Bordo having control over his chakra signal, which can be completely erased, something impossible for anyone besides Kawaki. This means if Boruto wanted to, he would assassinate anyone. But this is just one Shinjutsu, as everything we've already mentioned gets a boost thanks to the Karma grunting, enhanced physical speed, strength, and jutsu power. Akin to the gods. Some people in the community even mentioned how it might be a 10x power-up, but that's up to you to decide in the comments section. On top of that, the Karma grants space-time ninjutsu where he can go. He can open risks to any location, including foreign dimensions, but of course the main ability of the Karma allows Border to absorb any incoming chakra-based jutsu as well as even heal himself. So just like Jigen uses against Naruto and Sasuke 99.999% of ninja, be useless against Boruto, as they would need something natural, as caution code you stated. What's more, the Otsutsuki ability to fly is totally natural for him, which he used to his advantage against Misty and put his feet on Code's space. One of the most disrespectful moments in the whole Naruto verse that we have seen so far. Our opponent died strong and you're putting your stinky Ashley on his face, you know what I'm saying? However, it doesn't stop here. Ladies and gentlemen, this leads us to prove Boruto is above planetary. If we take a look at chapter 689, Cargill was going to use a true seeking all to blow up an entire dimension. She also creates multiple interconnected ones, each with their own respective small planets, as shown in the OVA credits of the day Naruto became Okage when Sasuke is traveling. When we connect this to Naruto's battle with, start to understand the scale. Even the weakest of its ki is strong enough to conquer planets, their hair. We see Naruto bullying one Tenori focuses all chakra into an energy blast where we witness Naruto was hit despite having chakra at near absolute zero. He tanked an attack that left a crater larger than an entire village, and the explosion caused chunks of the moon to break off afterwards. Off the moon was split as well, so Porto scaling multiple times over. This is insane. Remember, even a 19-year-old Sasuke could single-handedly destroy a meteor effortlessly, similar to the one Mother would use to kill countless people in the war. But now Boruto has the capability to blow one up 10 times its size casually in his base form. So as you can tell by now, Boruto is stronger than all Otsutsuki and would give Borean mode, Naruto and Shiki a good matchup, likely being able to outlast the timer his father would have, as the transformation only lost a few minutes whilst Ishiki could die to Yuziko. No, think about it. If not the way to use Borean mode on his son, I don't think he would be able to finish him off fast enough, and would actually have a harder time fighting. Strength and speed-wise, he may be faster than his son. Even if Boruto used his dimension-hopping flying regime, the hand signs required would be interrupted before he could finish. We saw this with Naruto's last fight against Sasuke, but again, Boruto is not Ishiki, meaning he doesn't have a time limit on his body. Naruto, in the short time he had, could only shave off about 20 hours of Ishiki's life. If we presume Boruto's life force is nowhere near that and more akin to the average Uzumaki, who are said to have a large life force, for example enough to survive Tailbiz extraction or even that of Sasuke, Naruto be able to take off like a day of Bolita's life. As a result, Naruto wouldn't have the necessary time to kill him, plus the pure. I would be giving Boruto all the information he would need to see what was happening with the chakra, his weak points would be exposed, and much more. Kurama stated that while seizing boring mode, Naruto couldn't afford to make any unnecessary movements. Thus, if Boruto hit him with the Yuzahiko, it would completely expose his weakness. Now, to enjoy more peak fiction, why not learn how Sung Jun unlocked Riss? Just like my man Boruto, he wiped up the biggest bag.